Using Euclidean algorithm, find D is equal to GCD of A comma B, which is equal to GCD of 11607 18174, comma 31625 8250. Okay, so you know that Euclidean algorithm is used to find out the greatest common divisor of two numbers, and that to greater larger number. Okay, so in this case A is given, B is given. So step one, what you have to do is you have to check whether A is greater than B. Okay, so in this case, yes, it is true. Then we can proceed with the division algorithm. Okay, so how can you start the division algorithm? You can make a table. Okay, table where your first column will be, you will be starting off with the division algorithm. A is equal to Q1 into B plus R1. So what is your A and B? A and B is nothing but your values which are given in your question, where A becomes the dividend and B becomes the divisor. So your greater number becomes the dividend and your smaller number becomes the divisor. Okay, and when you divide both, you will be getting the quotient and the remainder. So in the first step, quotient is taken as Q1 and a remainder is taken as R1. Okay, so I am going to write the same values. What is your A? Replacing by the values. So A is equal to 11607187174, which is equal to Q1 into B. So you know B value. Now how will you find out the quotient? So it's a normal division. So first case I'll be writing it. Later part you can do it by yourself. Okay, so let me do the division. 11607187174, which is the dividend. Divide it by 316258250. Okay, so when you multiply by 3, you will be getting it as 948774750. Okay, and the remainder will be 2119434424. Okay, so your quotient will be equal to 3 and your remainder is 211943424. So you can write that quotient 3 into, what is your B value? 316258250, plus what is your remainder? 1. So this becomes your quotient Q1 and this becomes your remainder R1, plus 211943424. Okay, so this will be your, this is how you have to proceed with the next step. Okay, so you have divided and you have found out the value for your quotient and remainder for the first step. So let me write the third column. Now you have to find out the GCD of D is equal to GCD of D is equal to GCD of. So in the next case, what will be your GCD of? You have to find out for B and your remainder R1. So this will be your B and this is your R1. So GCD of 316258250 comma 211943424. Okay, now you are going to find out the second step. You are going to find out the GCD of B and your R1. Okay, so now how will be your equation? So you have to shift this B towards your left hand side. So B will be equal to Q1, that was the previous case. Now in this case your quotient is incremented as Q2 and this R1 will be shifted here. So Q2 into R1 plus remainder, previous case it was R1, now it will become R2. Okay, so now what will be your value? So your B is shifted here, 316258250, which is equal to, now you have to again find the quotient. So I am writing it directly. So when you divide 211943424 and 316258250, you will be getting the quotient as 1 into, what is your remainder? R1, same value. So 211943424 and you will be getting a remainder of 104314826. Now what will be your next step? GCD of, what will be your value? R1 and R2, right? So 211943424 comma 104314826. Okay, this is your step 2. Now what will be the next step? So now R1 will come this side and R2 you are shifting. So R1 will be equal to Q3 into R2 plus R3. Okay, so now 211. So 211943424 will be equal to your quotient. You will be getting it as 2. 2 into 104314826. What will be your new remainder? New remainder will be equal to 3313772. So your D will be equal to GCD of, now it will be for your R1, R2. So this will be again your R2 and R3. Okay. So it will be between R2 and R3. So it will be between 104314826, comma 3313772. Okay. Now what will be your next step? You will be having R2 will be equal to Q4 into R3 plus R4, right? So you will be getting 104314826, which is equal to, the new quotient will be equal to 31 into the same remainder R3. So 3313772, and your new remainder will be equal to 1587894. Now in the next step you are going to find out the GCD between. So what will be this remainder? R3 and R4. Okay, so GCD of 3313772, sorry, 772, comma 1587894. Okay, now what will be your next step? Your R3 will be shifted here. R3 will be equal to, quotient will become Q5, and R4 will be shifted here, plus the new remainder will be equal to R5. So what will be your value? 3331372 will, which will be equal to, the new quotient will be equal to 2. 2 into 1587894. What will be your new remainder? Remainder will be equal to 137984. Okay, so this will be your R4 and R5. So now your GCD will be equal to GCD of R4 comma R5. So R4 is equal to 1587894, and the new remainder is equal to 137984. Okay, what will be your next step? Your R4 will be shifted here. R4, which is equal to, your new quotient will be equal to Q6 into R5, plus new remainder will be equal to R6. So you will be getting 1587894, which is equal to, your new quotient will be equal to 11. 11 into R5 will be shifted here. 1379884, plus your new remainder will be equal to 70070. Okay, now the new GCD will be between R5 and R6. Okay, so R5 is equal to 137984, comma 70070. Okay, so in the next state you will be shifting this. R5 will be equal to, new quotient will be equal to Q7 into R6, plus new remainder will be equal to R7. So after shifting you will be getting 137984, which will be equal to, you will be getting the new quotient as 1. 1 into 70070, and the new remainder will be equal to 67914. Now the new GCD will be equal to, what will be your GCD will be between R6 and R7, right? So 70070, comma 67914. Okay, so what will be your next step? R6 will be equal to, your new quotient will be equal to Q8 and remainder R7 plus your new remainder will be equal to R8. So what you will be getting 70070, which is equal to the new quotient is going to be still 1. 1 into 67914 plus your new remainder will be equal to 2156. Okay. Now D will be equal to GCD of what? R7 and R8. So what is your R7? GCD of 67914 comma 2156. Okay. So your next step is going to be R7, which is equal to R8, right? R8 into, sorry, Q9 into R8 plus new remainder will be equal to R9. So what will be your value after shifting? 67914, which will be equal to the new quotient is equal to 31. Okay, 31 into 2156 plus your new remainder is going to be 1078. So now your new GCD will be equal to GCD of what will be the value? R8 and R9, right? So R8 is equal to 2156 comma 1078. Okay, so how you have to go for the next step, which will be equal to R8, which is equal to your new quotient Q10 into R9 plus your new remainder will be equal to R10. So you will be getting 2156, which will be equal to new quotient will be equal to 2. 2 into 1078, and finally you are getting the remainder as 0. So when you get the remainder as 0, you have to stop the iteration. Okay, R9 and R10. So in this case, R10 is equal to 0. So now D is equal to GCD of what are the values? R9 comma R10. So 1078 comma 0. So you know that when the remainder becomes 0, in general, the iteration continues till GCD of Ri comma Ri plus 1. So in case your Ri plus 1 remainder becomes 0, your GCD will be equal to Ri. So in this case, what will be your GCD? GCD will be equal to D is equal to GCD of 1160718174 comma 316258250, which will be equal to 1078. Okay, so your answer is equal to 1078. So you can just summarize it by a table, writing the dividend. Okay, then the divisor, quotient, and the remainder. Okay, so parallelly, if you can finish this, you can find out the answer easily. So what will be your dividend? In first case, A will be equal to 1160718174. What will be your divisor? B will be equal to 316258250. What will be your quotient? Q1 will be equal to 3. And what will be your remainder? R1 will be equal to 211943424. Okay, case 2, you are going to shift your B will become your dividend. So B will be equal to 31625, right? 6258250. Then you are going to shift this R1 here. So R1 will be equal to 211943424, and the new quotient Q2 will be equal to 1, and your new remainder R2 will be equal to 104314826. Okay, now what will be your new dividend? R1 will become your dividend. R1 will be equal to 211943424, and your new divisor will be equal to R2. R2 will be equal to 1043148826, and what will be your new quotient? Q3 will be equal to 2, and what will be your new remainder? R3 will be equal to 3313772. Okay, now what will be your next dividend? R2 will be equal to 1043148826. Here R3 will be equal to 3313772. Your next quotient Q4 will be equal to 31, and R4 will be equal to 158789 Now reminder R3 will be equal to, will become the dividend. Dividend R3 will be equal to 3313772. Next divisor will become R4 158789, right? Now what will be your Q5? Q5 will be equal to 2, and what will be your new remainder? R5 will be equal to 137984. Now R4 will become your next dividend, which is equal to 158789. R5 will become your divisor 137984. What will be your new quotient? Q6 will be equal to 11, and what will be your new remainder? R6 will be equal to 70070. Okay, and now your new dividend will be equal to R5. R5 will be equal to 137984. R6 will be equal to your new divisor 70070, and your new quotient will be equal to Q7, which will be equal to 1. Remainder R7 will be equal to 67914. Now your new next step, your new dividend will be equal to R6. R6 will be equal to 70070. R7 will be equal to 67914, which is a new divisor, and you will be getting the new quotient. Q8 is equal to 1, and R8 remainder is equal to 2156. Okay, in the next step, remainder R7 will be equal to 67914. R8 will be equal to 2156, and your new quotient Q9 will be equal to 31, and new remainder R9 will be equal to 1078. Now R8 will be the new dividend, which will be equal to 2156. R9 will be your new divisor 1078. What will be your new quotient? Q10 will be equal to 0. Sorry, Q10 will be equal to 2, right? Quotient will be equal to 2, and remainder will be equal to 0. Okay, so you are going to proceed the equation or division algorithm until your remainder becomes 0. So until your remainder becomes 0, what will be your value of your GCD? GCD will be equal to your first value, that is your R9 value. So you are going to do that D is equal to GCD of Ri comma Ri plus 1. So when Ri plus 1 is equal to 0, GCD of Ri comma 0, you will be having the GCD is equal to Ri. So in this case, Ri is equal to 9, Ri plus 1, that is R10, you have got it as 0. So your GCD value will be equal to R9 value, that is equal to 1078. Okay. So for the 10-mark question, you will have to write these two tables.